Hey everyone, so in this video today, I'm going to go over what plan 95% of my clients are going to get on in 2024. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Brian Monahan. I've been working with people who are going on to Medicare for the first time and people who are already on Medicare for the past 15 plus years. And in my videos, I try to show you raw data so that you can make a decision on what the best plan, Medicare plan is for you. So let's jump into it. In this video, as you can see, I have two plans on the screen. So instead of one plan 95% of my clients are going to get on, 95% are going to either get on a Plan G or a Plan N. Now, I don't know what the split is going to be in 2023. Just so happened more people got on Plan G, but more and more of my clients are getting on Plan N. So I wanted to do a video on both of these plans because both of them are fantastic plans. You can't beat these plans throughout the entire country. Anyhow, so let's start into the video. So if you look on the screen, you'll see a Medicare card. And for those of you who are turning 65 and going on Medicare for the first time, or if you're past the age of 65 and you're getting on Part B for the first time and going into Medicare, you're going to pay in 2024 $174.70 for Medicare Parts A and B. Now that's an average. If you're a high income earner, you're going to pay much more than that. But for the average person, they're going to pay this $174.70. Now I'm going to back up just a little bit. If you are turning 65 or if you're going on to Part B for the first time and you don't know how, where, and when to sign up. If you look at this chart over here, this is, and I'm going to do this real fast. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you sign up for Part A and B. And you do this by calling your local Social Security office. You don't call Medicare. You can do it online, but I would call my local Social Security office, explain my situation, and then they can help you sign up for it. And then the next decision that you're going to make, if you look at this chart, is whether or not you're going to go with a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medigap plan, Medicare supplement plan, combined with a Part D prescription drug plan and vision, dental, and hearing. So let's jump back into the other chart. So let's say you're turning 65. You got your A and B card, or at least you signed up for Medicare Parts A and B. They're going to bill you for that $174.70, or they're going to take it out of your Social Security check if you're taking Social Security. But the next thing you're going to want to decide is, do I want a Plan G or a Plan N? And the reason why I say this is because literally 95% of the people who call me are going to get on one of these plans. So let's start with Plan G. I did an average of the people throughout the United States who were 65 years old, what they would be paying for their Plan G. Now, this is just an average, but I came up with $140 per month. If you're living in New York City, I can tell you right now, Plan G is going to cost you somewhere around $280 a month. But if you're living somewhere rural and you're nowhere near hospitals and so forth, it's probably less than $140. But this is an average. So what do you get for this $140 per month? Now keep in mind, whether you get a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medigap plan, you're still going to pay that $174.70. So you have to add that in each month. But for $140 with the Plan G, you're going to pay zero for hospital coverage. Now what does that mean? You can stay in the hospital for up to 1 year at zero cost. And if you have surgeries in the hospital, whatever it may be, as long as you're not getting cable in your room or something like that, or extra food or whatever it is, you're going to pay nothing for the hospital coverage. Absolutely amazing. The only thing you're going to pay with Plan G, besides the $174.70 plus your premium of $140, is going to be $240 for the Part B deductible for the entire year. Now what this means is you pay the first $240 and then you're not going to pay anything else. So if I slide this chart down a little bit, as you can see, there's zeros all across. For doctors and specialists, you're not going to pay a copay. You're going to pay the first $240 for a deductible, and that's it. Urgent care and telehealth, you're not going to pay a copay. Nothing. ER visits, zero. CAT scans and MRIs, zero. If you have to go to chemotherapy, that's going to cost you zero. Let's slide down. Infusion treatments are going to be zero. Physical therapy is going to be zero. Skilled nursing, you're going to get up to 100 days of skilled nursing at zero cost. So as you can see, this is what they call pretty much the Cadillac plan. The only thing you're going to pay is $174.70 to the government each month. You're going to pay your premium of around $140. Now keep in mind, there's different companies and they have different prices, but a Plan G is a Plan G no matter what company you go with. And that's why I don't have a list of companies on this screen, because you decide on what plan that you want, and then someone like myself who's a broker can tell you what companies, what their prices are. But as an average, it's going to be $140. So if you look at the maximum out of pocket per year, I have $1,906. Now this is just for your hospital and doctor, meaning all the things that I have on the screen there, physical therapy, everything. If you look past this gray line, I have a drug plan, dental, vision, and hearing, and gym membership. Now, these do not come with the Medigap plans. They do come with the Medicare Advantage plans attached to them. They're called MAPDs, Medicare Advantage Prescription Drug Plans. Most of those plans have a drug plan. They come with dental, vision, and hearing, sometimes a gym membership, sometimes a free over-the-counter card where you can go into CVS or Walgreens or wherever and get free toothpaste and all these different things. But in my opinion, nothing matches the hospital and doctor coverage of a Medigap plan. And so that's why 95% of my clients are going to get on one of these two plans. It's that simple. So when you get on Medigap Plan G or N, you're going to have to get a separate prescription drug plan. Now, in 2024, the lowest cost drug plan is a zero premium or 50 cents or 40 cents, whatever it may be in your area. It's different in different areas, but it's less than $1. This plan is not a bad plan. Some people say, well, I don't understand. How could it be that cheap? Well, number one, I think if you're only taking a couple of generics, it might be a cholesterol drug like a statin or a losartan for blood pressure or one of these low cost drugs, you're going to be able to get on one of these zero premium plan or for 50 cents. But if you're taking brand drugs and you're taking a lot of drugs, your cost is going to go up. Your plan might be $20 a month or $30 a month. You'll have to speak to someone like myself and go over that and attach it to your Plan G or Plan N. Same thing with dental, vision, and hearing. There are plans for $10 a month. Most of the plans go up to about $40, $50 a month, but you'll get that separate from your Plan G. So let's scroll all the way back. And then I want to go down and I want to just show you the math real quick, how I came up with this. For Plan G, obviously, it's very simple. Plan N, I'll go over that right after Plan G. You take your 140, you multiply that by 12, and that equals 1,680. 1,680 plus that deductible of $240 for the year is going to equal 1,920, and that is all you will pay going to the hospital, doctor, specialist, physical therapy, MRI, CAT scans, skilled nursing, whatever it may be. Now, the one thing I didn't do here, I didn't add on, because everyone's going to pay this, the 174.70 times 12. And I'm doing it on my calculator now. So that's going to cost you $2,096.40 for the year. So you'll want to add that $2,000 plus the $1,920, and that's going to be around $4,000 in case you want to know how much you're going to be paying for the entire year for your whole Medicare package. Now let's move up here and move on to Plan N. Now Plan N, it's not complicated. It just has a couple things that are different than Plan G, and it's also a fantastic plan that a lot of my clients are on. So Plan N, the average premium for someone who's 65 is going to be around $106 for the month. Once again, you'll pay the $174.70, but $106. Now, I've seen this a lot cheaper. I've seen it $72 a month. I mean, you have to look at it. It goes by zip code. So it doesn't even go by state. It actually goes by zip code. So you could be in the same state as someone and they're paying $150 a month for their Plan N and you're paying $90 a month. Really, once again, you have to speak to someone like myself. It goes by zip code. We have quote engines, so we can, show you what you're going to be paying. But it has the same exact hospital coverage as the Plan G. You're not going to pay anything inside the hospital. So it's 365 days at zero, and this includes surgery and so forth. Now, you're still going to pay that $240 first for a deductible. So these things are exactly like Plan G. The premium's a little bit lower, the hospital's the same, the Part B deductible is the same. But here's where the difference comes in, and I'll slide down here a little bit. So for the Plan G, you pay nothing going to the doctor or the specialist. For Plan N, you'll pay up to $20. Now, you can pay $0. Some doctors and specialists won't charge you. Some will charge you $10. Some will charge you $15, whatever it may be. But the most that they can charge you is $20. Also, for urgent care and telehealth, they can also charge you up to $20 for a visit. That's the first thing that's different with than Plan G, is there is a possibility of a copay at these places: doctors, specialists, urgent care, and telehealth. Now, for emergency room visits, there's a $50 copay that is waived if you're admitted into the hospital. Now let's slide down. For CAT scans, you're not going to pay a copay, MRIs, with Plan N. You're also not going to pay a copay for chemotherapy treatments or infusion treatments, and that's why I put these two things in there. Physical therapy, you're not going to pay a copay. Now, years ago, I had a client. I don't know what happened, but she was on Plan N and she was paying for physical therapy. Now, this was very unusual. So I had in one of my videos that you could possibly pay up to $20 for physical therapy. But this client was actually, she passed away. She was very sick, and I don't know if she even knew what she was paying for at the time. She was calling me from the hospital, and she really didn't have many family members or anything. And so I was trying to walk her through. She was telling me I'm paying for physical therapy. In any case, you do not pay a copay for physical therapy with Plan N. Also, you'll get 100 days of skilled nursing, just like Plan G, with the Plan N. Now, I have here the maximum out-of-pocket as $1,682. Real quick, if I slide all the way down here, you'll see the same thing with the drug plan, dental, vision, hearing, gym membership. It's the same with Plan G and N. You'll have to get those things separately if you want them. They do not come with the Plan N or the Plan G. But let's look at this maximum out-of-pocket. So how did I come up with these numbers? Well, let me slide down here. So with the Plan G, I went over what you're going to be paying, and it's very clean. You're only going to pay that $240 for the deductible for the year. But with Plan N, I took the premium, the average premium of $106, multiplied it by 12, came up with $1,272 for the year. But just like Plan G, I had to add on that $240 deductible because most people are going to use that. So 1,272 plus that deductible equals 1,512. So that could be it for some people. But what I did was I put on here that you went to the doctor 6 times for the year and you paid the maximum of $20 each time you went to the doctor. So I took the 1,512, I added 6 times going to the doctors, which would be $120. And now your maximum, it's not a maximum out of pocket, what you pay for the year would be $1,632. But then I said, let's throw in an emergency room. You went to the emergency room once. So $1,632 plus the $50. Now, what you would pay for the year would be $1,682. So if you take these two and you look at them and you go up to my chart again, that's where I came up with the maximum out of pocket for Plan G is going to be $1,906, but Plan N, because it has a copay, you can't really say this is the ceiling. But if you go to the doctor 6 times and you go to the emergency room once, you're still going to be paying $200 less a year for the Plan N than the Plan G, if the numbers are like this. Now keep in mind, I mentioned New York. New York is really easy because there's only a couple companies in New York. For 2023, the cheapest N plan was $215 across the board. The cheapest G plan was $280. Well, if you do this same math, you're looking at $280 minus $215. You're talking about $65 less a month. So I urged people to get on the Plan N in New York City, my clients, because I said to them, are you going to go to the doctors 3 times a month at least? Most of them, it was a no, and so a Plan G was a lot more expensive. Okay, so that's what you're going to be paying for these plans. The one thing I want to talk about for Plan N, the last thing, is there are certain states that do not, it's an excess charge that you could possibly pay for Plan N. I hate even mentioning this. I almost forgot to mention it in this video. But an excess charge it's less than 2% of the doctors. I used to say 3% because I didn't want someone to watch my videos 5 years from the time I made them and all of a sudden it went from 2% to 3%. But it hasn't. 2024, less than 2% of the doctors do not accept Medicare's allotted payment, which means they decided to say, no, we don't accept your payment, and they can charge up to 15% more for doctor's visits than what Medicare's payment is. And you could be on the hook for that. So basically, if the payment is $100 that they're supposed to get, they could charge up to 15%. So you would be paying $115. To me, I have to mention it because that's the way that it is. I've been doing this. I tell people over the phone. Over 15 years I've been doing this. I have never had one of my clients have an excess charge. Call me up or email me and say, I got an excess charge. What is this? Number one, less than 2% of the doctors. Almost 50% of those doctors are in mental health, psychiatry. Number two, a lot of states don't allow it, and they're on the screen now. Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Vermont do not allow excess charges. But I can tell you right now, I said this in many videos, if I could tell all my clients, hey, if the one thing that's keeping you from getting a Plan N is the excess charge, I'll pay for the excess charge. I can't do that legally, but I would. I'd say anytime you get an excess charge, just call me and I'll cut a check. Because I know nobody, at least 99% of the people, are not going to get an excess charge towards them. Real quick, let me go back to this chart. I'll leave this on the screen. This is what you're going to do when you get onto Medicare. So if you're turning 65 or going onto Medicare for the first time, you sign up for your Medicare Part A and B. Your next decision is going to be, do I want a Medicare Advantage or do I want a Medigap plan? The Medigap plans, like I said, they're letter plans, F, G, N, K, L, and so forth. 95% of my clients are going to get on G and N. Then you're going to have to, if you go that route, you're going to have to pick a prescription drug plan. My company, we help you with that. We help you with basically everything. So you don't want to be left in the dark. What drug plan do I get? What plan do I get for Medigap? Do I get a AARP plan? Do I get an Aetna plan, Humana, Mutual of Omaha? What company do I get? How much are these things? This is what we do as brokers, is we help you, walk you through this. Once again, my name is Brian Monahan. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, please call my office and we'd be happy to help you. Thanks, and I'll see you at the next video.